Okay, this is going to be a video on how to set up and run Whisper Realtime along with Argos Translate to get real-time audio translations. This particular method relies on Anaconda, and so you'll download and install Anaconda. I already have it downloaded. You'll go into your downloads folder after it's done, go into properties, and then mark the file as executable. This is standard in Linux pretty much. Change into your downloads folder and then run, what is it called? /Anaconda script, and this will bring up the installation script. Now I already have it installed. You'll go down to the bottom here and select Y. Oh, there we go. You'll select yes and then go through the installation process. Excuse me. Now, once you have Anaconda installed, you'll have to close your prompt and then reopen the terminal here, and then you'll see base right there. Once you have this, then we can go ahead and set up the appropriate Python environment to install and run Whisper Realtime. Now, I have a clone of it right here. As you can see, it's really only this demo.py file and this requirements.txt file. Everything else in here is for use with these two scripts to actually pass the transcription from Whisper Realtime over to Argos Translate. Here it is right here. So we'll go ahead and we'll clone, get cloned into this particular one, auto tuna fish offline SST. Now you can, this is the exact setup for Whisper Realtime and also for regular Whisper, which is right here. It requires the same Python environment, and we're going to go ahead and put in the same dependencies, the setup tools here, and then also ffmpeg, which I also have. There is another dependency. There is another dependency that we need to run right here. Port audio 19-dev. This was in the original build machine that I had, so it didn't show up as creating a problem when we actually build the program that we just cloned into. So I already have it in there, but you'll go ahead and install it because it is required to actually build this package. Okay, so we'll change directories now into offline SST. Now we will create the Python environment with the command conda create -n, and then we'll give it a name. I already have one called Whisper, I believe, so we'll just call it offline SST. That's actually STT. And then we will define the Python environment. Python equals 3.9. Okay, and now this will create a Python 3.9 environment with the name offline STT. Yes. Okay. Now we'll run this command right here, conda activate offline STT. Just copy that, paste. And now you can see the base environment has changed to offline STT environment. We can run Python. Version. And we can see we're in Python 3.9. If we open a regular window or tab here with the base and run the same command, .11. The whole reason we have to do this is because this version is not compatible with this version. That's it. So let's go back. We need to install ffmpeg by running this command sudo apt install ffmpeg. Well, I guess version's not a thing, but as you can see, it is in here, ffmpeg version 442, and so I don't need to install that. Go ahead and run this command, pip setuptools-rust. Oops. Okay, it looks like it was already installed. Perhaps not. Okay. Now, you should be ready to go ahead and run the command to build this, which is here. We'll come to Whisper Realtime, pip install requirements. Okay. Okay, now it has successfully built it. Let's go ahead and run it just to see and make sure. None. Python, transcribe demo, and then for this test we'll just pass along -- model argument and then tiny. As you can see, there were a couple of different size things: tiny, base, small, medium, and large. Tiny is the smallest and has, as you can see, the fastest speed, and so usually works pretty well. And we're just going to go ahead and test it out. Now this is just going to be using the internal microphone on the laptop, and the first time that you actually run it, it's going to have to download the tiny model. It may take just a second for the actual program to start. There it goes. Alright, and now it's actually listening to me through the laptop microphone and then transcribing in pretty good time. There is also a lot of background noise. The better quality the audio, of course, the better. The more threads you have, the better. CUDA acceleration. There is an option for passing along GPU acceleration, but it's working. Okay, so let's go ahead and Ctrl-C to stop it. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we'll go ahead and we will install argostranslate. Now this doesn't require a special Python environment. This will just run in our regular base environment, and the installation is actually is easy from right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just run this pip command in our alternate window. Let's change the color real quick so I know which one's which. Okay, now let's check to make sure argostranslate runs. First we'll run the update command right here, argospm update. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and install, we'll install all translation packages, well I will anyways, with just this one command, and this will install quite a few packages though. Let me scroll down and look and see. As you can see, from these to those, from these to those, and quite a few. So this will be a bit of a download, but just so I have all of the available packages, I'll go ahead and run it. Now to download a specific one, as you can see, translate ENDE, that's English to German, and you can browse through and select whatever one you want. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one here, paste, clipboard. Okay. Alright, now this download is going to take a little while. So I'm going to pause the video and come back. Okay, so the download is now complete, and we have our required language packages. Let's just go ahead and just run this command here and see if it works. Alright, yeah, appears to. Hello world, hello dot, I suppose. Okay, so now the fun part. Going to get the output that we had here. We're going to move this to a different window. All of this output that we had when we were speaking in real time, and pass it over to argostranslate to be translated. We're basically going to take that text output and format it in a string that looks very much like this, put it in here, and then the output will be put out into a terminal just like this in a more or less real-time fashion. Now, the tool, inotify-tools, and we can install it. Sudo apt install inotify-tools. Sudo apt install inotify-tools. Yes. Okay. Let's open a new window. Okay. Now, the actual things that are going to be doing this work are these two script files right here that I've named Express and Express O. We'll open these up in our system. But basically what we're going to do is change these file paths. There are a few of them, but we'll just go ahead and change those out, and then this will all work in the system that you have. As you can see right here, inotify-wait is the specific tool that we're going to be using. We're going to run this program with a specific command here that will pipe all of this output into a file. inotify-wait is going to watch the file. It's called testing. Now, anytime that a modification happens to this file, it's going to echo the tail of that file into another file called receiving, and then it's going to go through the process of actually writing the command argostranslate, in this case from English to Portuguese, into this receiving trans file, and then it's going to cat this file, or basically that, plus the output into another one, receiving final, and then perform another copy, which says maybe unnecessary, but sometimes it's not, into receiving exec file. This paste command clears out line breaks that would otherwise hinder the actual command from running, and then it echoes this last quotation mark off the translate command, this one right here, and then it takes that, it combines it, as you can see here. Well, this is a clear, basically clears out anything remaining in this file, and then it combines that previous thing with this into this third file, receiving exec4, makes it into an executable variable, and then it echoes the output of that run command. That's how it works pretty much. And then it goes through and it clears out all of those other files, and then it does it again. This inotify-wait, RQ means it's recursive, the double Q means extra quiet, so this script itself won't put out anything. It will just run it and we'll just see the output. It otherwise won't notify us when a modification happens. Otherwise, you'll get a little line every time, modified, modified, modified. So, let's just go ahead and real easy, we'll open up our offline SFTT file, which contains these two scripts. We'll open with, I'll just open with Featherpad, no problem. We'll open this one too. Now, in order to actually run these scripts after we've changed them, we have to come in here and grant permission, just like before with the downloaded Anaconda installer file. So let's just go ahead and do that. Okay. Now, those should be the only files that we need to add it also to receiving exec4, because that is the one that we're going to make into an executable variable. Okay, now in this script, like I said, we're going to have to change these file paths. These are the actual file paths that I had on my test machine that I originally demonstrated, and we need to change them to our new basically clone in the offline STT folder. So ST folder, excuse me. So this first one, testing.txt, and we can very easily just go through. Let's make this a little bigger. Copy path. We'll come in here and we'll copy the file path, and we'll paste it where the other one was. There we go. But we need the actual folder, so we need to put in testing. Okay. Now, that's basically what we have copied is the an initial string that we can basically paste over on every single one and keep our initial file names, original file names, receiving trans, all of these ones numbered because they are the same. And so let's search and replace with this, and we want to find everything that looks like this: Home John, Koki, RT, Lisp, realtime. And now this should replace all of these initial file paths with our new desired file path. So let's replace all. Okay. And we can do this in the Express. As well. Okay. So now all of our file paths have been changed. And all of these should all still be correct. Home John offline, SST, and then our file. Home John offline, SST, and then all of our files. Okay. Let's save these. Alright. Now we should be able to run these from this directory. So let's go ahead and try that. We may have to move them to our home directory right here. So let's cd into our offline SST, and then we'll run espresso, I suppose. We'll do English to Portuguese, which is espresso right here. English to Portuguese. Okay. And now, oops, let's run this again. Testing, hello, 1 2 1 2 3 4. There we go. Is espresso listening? Oh, nope, because we need to run with the command. Okay. Now, in order to get the output into the file, we're going to add 2 forward arrow and 1. This will take all of our output that this produces and puts it into standard output. And then we're going to do vertical pipe T minus A testing.txt. So let's go. Testing 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Let's open up the other window. Ah, there it goes. Testing 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and so now it's really just a matter of making sure that the computer hears you correctly. Whisper Realtime does very well at deciphering what it is that you're saying in a pretty normal sort of fashion. You don't have to change the way that you talk. Okay. And so, yeah, it looks like that we're up and running. That's it. Cool. Now, with this program, Ctrl-C, we can also pass along a non-English option, dash, non, underscore, or actually, let me get this command real quick. Let's go into the actual Python script and we can take a look. As you can see, we can pass model, non-English, energy threshold, record timeout, phrase timeout. And then we can also pass a default microphone. Default will be pulse audio. Now, we're just going to run the same command as before, but we're going to add the non-English flag. And I still can't remember. Underscore English. Okay. Alright, now this is going to automatically detect whatever sort of language basically that we're listening to. And for that, I'm just going to play some audio from off of my cell phone right here that will be listening into the same microphone that I was yelling into earlier. And as you can tell, there's fan, whir, and stuff like that. So let's see how this goes. Okay.
Oi pessoal, aqui é a Virgínia. Hoje você vai aprender a usar 20 verbos com a preposição de. Antes de começarmos, lembre-se de dar um like neste vídeo e inscreva-se no canal. Além deste canal, eu ofereço muitos recursos gratuitos e cursos online para quem está aprendendo o português brasileiro. Para saber mais, visite o meu site www.speakingbrazilian.com. Então, o assunto de hoje é regência verbal. O que é isso? A regência verbal se refere à relação entre um verbo e seus complementos. Ela determina se um verbo deve ser acompanhado por uma preposição e qual preposição deve ser utilizada. Por exemplo, o verbo gostar é sempre usado com a preposição de. Eu gosto de viajar. Alguns verbos exigem o uso obrigatório de uma preposição específica, enquanto outros podem ser usados com diferentes preposições ou até mesmo sem preposição, dependendo do contexto. Não há uma maneira simples e